Hey everybody, my name is ChristopherOdd, and this is a game called Oddsparks, an automation adventure. How could I not play this? Am I right? I have to, and I did, and I played it for like 4 hours, and now I'm here to just show it to you, okay? This is a demo that is out now. I'll have links down below if you want to check it out for yourself. It's coming into early access 2024. What is it? This is an automation game. Think Factorio, think Satisfactory, but also with Lemmings. Okay, I don't know if I'm dating myself there. Let me know if you guys have ever played Lemmings before. Please, God, let there be some of you. And if you haven't, that's okay too. If you're like, what are Lemmings? It's like this old school game. It's been redone a couple of times, but the original game was like, you get Lemmings kind of going and operating by themselves, and you would set up little blockers for them to get them to do things that you want. It was great, okay? And now it's been updated significantly, that style of game, in Oddsparks. This is, I would say, this feels the closest description I can come up with. I've gone ahead and started the demo, and this is our little village. The main thing we need to do at the start of this is try to activate our shrine within the village. So we've talked to a couple of people, I've skipped some opening little tutorial stuff, and hopefully by the end of this, we get some pretty decent automation going, so we'll see if we can make it there. We're gonna leave the village for now, and we are going to start gathering some resources that we need in order to activate this outside ancient shrine. Now, what is this shrine? Great question. We're going to check this out. As we look closer, it's not actually a shrine, but it's some kind of machine. And it is capable of making something called a stumpy spark. The sparks are like the quote-unquote lemmings that I'm calling them, that go out and do all of the things that you command them to do, okay? Stumpy sparks do certain things. There will be other sparks that do other things. For now, we're going to start with stumpies, all right? So in order to activate this, we need to deliver 5 wooden logs and an ether shard to this shrine, okay? So you're like, well, okay, there's trees here, but I can't do anything with these trees. That's true right now because we're weak. We don't have the tools necessary to deal with said trees. So what you need to look for is a little bit of a clearing like this. These little things, these we can deal with. So we can get some logs from these tiny little twigs. You know, you break enough twigs, you'll get a few logs, right? So we're gonna break down just what we need to go and activate that shrine. One more should be good. And then we need to get ether shards. I just happen to know where those are because I've been doing this for a bit. And we get ether shards out of these little bad boys. You also get them out of these enemies later on, but we can't fight those right now. But our sparks can, so hopefully we'll get some sparks up and running ASAP for you. Okay, so we bring these back here. We are going to open our inventory and deposit these in here, okay? We can actually split the inventory if we want, so we don't overdo it. That's fine. Let's complete that. Now, this thing is coming to life, and we've unlocked Stumpy Sparks, okay? Stumpy Sparks are great. These are my favorite little minions, and they are awesome, okay? They turn into a wooden disc that fits into your hand. Yeah, now it's gonna start following me, right? That's cool. Now what we can do is we can command our sparks to do things for us. So you hit spacebar, and you can say, hey, come and chop that tree for me, right? We're gonna have to do a couple little things here from a tutorial perspective. Pretty soon I'm gonna have more sparks than I know what to do with, and I'm gonna get there relatively quick, I think. But you can see they're gonna start to break this down. If you throw more sparks at it, it goes a little faster. They drop some things. They'll bring one of them back to you, okay? So they won't bring everything, but that's just something to keep in mind. When you get a whole bunch of them, you can easily automate most of that, and you'll see. We are getting some updates in the notebook. Anything that unlocks is thrown in here. It tells you where you can get these things from if you are stuck. The sawn timber, that's something we won't actually unlock production of until a little bit later. Let's pick these up. I also have to call a spark back, so let's throw this out, and then you can right-click. You can call them back and say, come to me, okay? So now, what do we need to do next? We need to fill a spark slot in the Stumpy Spark Shrine by crafting a Stumpy Spark. So what we've done is, we've said, hey, activate this shrine, which is cool. However, we need ether shards and we need wooden logs for this. So I can throw the wooden logs in. That's fine. I've got a couple of the ether shards here and I can throw those in as well. But what happens now? I can sit here and hold craft if I want, but like that's not really that fun. So what I'm gonna do is automate it. You've got a couple of spark slots here. If I put 2 in, then you would get faster automation. And this is just the very, very basics of automating in this game. It sounds like I'm saying automating, like Oddsparks, like ChristopherOdd, automating. But I'm saying automating. I don't know, does that matter? It doesn't really. It really doesn't. If you're curious, you can customize your little character at the start. A lot of cute options. I actually like this art style. Some people might not. It might not resonate with everybody, and that's totally okay. But we've started a couple things, and now we've got 2 sparks. If you right-click them, you can throw them into your active sparks, and boom, they're following you. So now what do? Well, let's throw out a couple of sparks, and they start breaking down the trees for us, right? So you can see, you start to get this army going, and sooner or later, we're gonna have a whole bunch. So let me go back to the village, and we will complete this quest and see what they want us to do next. I do really like the progression system in this game. It does a great job of like teaching us new things as we need to know them. So if you're worried about a tutorial and stuff, it is fantastic. So we tell them we've seen the ancient shrine, we fixed it. Oh, they're called sparks, you say. How unusual. Yeah. Now it says, well, try to activate the village monument, but we're not gonna be able to do that yet. However, we are gonna have some other people that want us to do things for them. And early on, you're doing a lot of quests for these guys to unlock things. So what are those little guys? Sparks, you say, and they can do work for you? Tell me more. So we describe how the ancient shrine gave us the sparks. We says, yes, that's pretty cool. I want to try making a logger for your sparks. So we say, okay, let's do that. Thinks you can create a logger that the sparks can work in. What's a logger? Great question. That's this thing right here. It's basically an infinite logging tree, and you can just sit here if you want, and you could craft up a couple of extra logs to kind of speed things up. You can always come here and craft basic logs, but like nobody wants to do that, okay? You want to automate this. This is way cooler. So now we're gonna go out and we're gonna deliver logs that we need to. We're gonna gather them. We're gonna create more sparks, and we're gonna deliver the stone and the sparks that he is asking for. Okay, so let's go back to that little field, and we're gonna do a few things here. We're gonna start to ramp up our sparks as much as we can. Now I'm gonna get them doing their thing. I'm also gonna help out because I'm not crazy. I'm not just gonna stand there and watch them work hard, okay? I'm gonna do what I need to do, get things done. You can see they drop quite a bit, and remember, as I said, they don't pick those up. They can only pick up one of those materials. So once we have a larger group of them, we can then say, okay, go back and grab all those things, right? Let's keep throwing them out as they finish their assigned jobs. And when they come back, they're like put into your queue that you can then launch out. I think I have enough stone now. But what I'm gonna do is make sure that we get all of these other things, not necessarily the stone, but all of the wood and all of those little ether shards that we can get, because that's gonna help us make more sparks. So we'll clear this small field here. And keep an eye on things like this, these little stations, let's say. We'll get into that very soon as to what those are. There's different types of enemies you're gonna run into as well. Right now, the enemies we see are pretty basic because we're literally just a baby automator. But not for long. I'd put this in maybe like a cozy games category. We did get something new there, so that's an etheric pellet. And these can be broken down into many ether shards, as you may have already guessed. So here, as an example, if these are dropped on the floor, I can then send out my sparks to get those, and they'll bring them back for me. Pretty soon, like as I said, you're not manually doing any of this, right? We're gonna ramp this up pretty quick. I'll come and pick this up, because I know you're not gonna be able to bring it all back. I'll help with this, because I'm a good boss. And that should be enough. So I've got 23 logs, 35 ether shards, 7 stone. And I could just go and deliver these 2 sparks, but that ain't happening, okay? I'm gonna start to automate some things. We'll get them to gather these, why not? And then here, let's throw in the wood, right-click to just send as many of these things over as you possibly can. And when they come back, I will throw them in here to automate this. So there's one guy. The other one, still working on that bush. I mean, context is important. I understand that. We are on the internet, but you are allowed to take that out of context if you want. So now I'm going to automate this, okay? What this is going to do, this is going to run when I'm back in the village, when I'm off exploring, when I'm doing anything. This is all going to happen. Pretty soon, we're going to start building paths. We're going to get this logger unlocked and build this from here to automate a whole bunch of this. And there's no sense having your guys just sit around following you. It doesn't do anything. I'm going to continue emptying this and filling it up with trees. I do need to bring back wooden logs, but I'm going to get a whole little army going here. As you can see, it's just adding it to my active sparks. You can have 10 sparks per active spark slot right now. So I can get an army of 30 going. I probably won't do a full army of 30 here because we'll be here for like 15 or 20 minutes at this one machine and nobody's got time for that. But then you're wondering, okay, cool. So yeah, you're bringing the logs here, like whatever. We're going to start getting some paths. So once we get this machine going, we're going to automate that. They're going to take this path that we build into the machine. We can take an exit out of the machine if we want. And you're going to see, trust me, you're going to see what's happening. They have a unique pathing system too. The way that the paths work is they always stick to the right-hand side, just like, you know, North American driving. And it's an interesting way to do the paths because they will always hit basically everything along that path. And it's just how you kind of automate it that makes it a little bit interesting and work on your efficiencies. Okay, let's go there. I already have a decent little army. I'll just kind of clear the area in this clearing while this is happening. Let's add another one. Go get the leaves from that bush. And I'll help with cleanup. This is one of those games, like, on a visual level, I know people are, I don't know. On my channel, I know people kind of like more realistic looking games sometimes. So I'm always hesitant to show stuff like this, but it's really, really good. If you've never played something like this, honestly, don't let the cutesy graphics be like, well, this is too simple for my big brain, because it's not. It's awesome, and you're gonna see, we're gonna get into more of the awesome very soon. I'm gonna fill this one more time, okay? I'm gonna fill it one more time, and then let's go here with a couple, and I can't take down these big trees yet. So let's see what else we can get here. Here's another little field. And you can just throw these guys out willy-nilly, or you can place them really specifically if you want. We got an ancient container here. Ooh, that's pretty decent. We'll take that. Grab all of this extra ether. And then, as I said, you see how we've got leftover stuff? Well, just throw a couple guys back there to get it. No big deal. I'm actually pretty pumped at how quickly we've gotten a little army going here. Now these guys, look, the cool thing is they can also be used as currency in some situations. Like you need to bring some of the people in town, certain amounts of them, so you're losing a bit of your army, let's say. But yeah. And you can just freely chuck them like that and go on about your day. They will come back. You might leave some resources behind, but not a huge deal. Okay. So what I'll do here, we only need 10. So let me bring 7 out, put that in here. This can just do its thing. Obviously, it's only gonna make, well, like 1 more. And now I've got 13. So it finishes at 10. It won't auto add to your stacks. Now we got 13 little doodads, little sparks following us. Also, you run significantly faster on the paths, so that's just a nice little tip. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you want 10 of these. You wanted 5 stone. You can see it in the middle of the screen there. Split this. And he wants 2 sparks. So I'm going to take these. I'll split that down to 1. Bring that back into my active. And there we go. Delivered. Enjoy. Okay, so now he's saying one important thing. You're going to need etheric orb to build the logger. They offset the ether in the giant trees. Duh. You don't really know what that means, but let me tell you, I personally tried harvesting giant trees without an etheric counterbalance. Took 2 whole months to regrow my mustache. Nobody wants that. We first found the etheric orb in the Bielefant corpses. Bielefant? They're around the woodlands. I'm sure you can find more. But for now, I'll give you a few to spare. So he's giving us etheric orbs, which are necessary to build very important structures, okay? Naturally found in larger creatures such as the Bielefant. So we can now build the harvester, okay? Is there somebody here that wants to talk? Yes, we're gonna grab their quest, and then we're gonna go out and we're gonna start dabbling in some automation. So these guys can carry stuff. This is where we're talking about paths. So she wants a few sparks to test this out. And what I really like, their quest system, you can pin stuff here. It's super, super handy. We'll drop that in. We'll split this into 2, and you can have those. Enjoy. So they walk on paths, they pick things up from buildings, they drop things off when they pass buildings. They're always going to move on the right side of the path for some reason. Now there is some advanced pathing that you can get into later on to dictate a little bit more and give yourself a little bit more control, but again, we're working up to something, okay? We're working up to it. We've got a barrel for storage, which is nice. She's saying try it out. So build the logger, connect the shrine, throw the sparks on the path, so on and so forth. But there's another quest down here we're going to grab also. This is the mayor. He's going to tell you some tricks to look at the bigger picture, figure out what to take care of next. Open up the quest overview. This is very cool. I don't know why more games don't do this, but there's basically like, it breaks it down into tier lists and it tells you, here's the quest that you've done, what all connects together. It's like very, very cool. Very cool. Okay, so now we're gonna go do our first production line and begin. This is essentially the start of automation, okay? It's just the tip. It's just the tip of automation. We'll grab these leaves here, clear some of these bushes. All right, so building the logger, we need a giant tree in order to do that, and we have one. So here we go, giant logger. Now notice the exit point there, okay? That's gonna determine, you guessed it, where the little sparks are going to come from. Now we could put it up there, it'll probably just be a little cleaner, the path will be a bit longer to get here. You could also do it here, but I'm gonna keep it up here just to try and keep things a little bit nicer, okay? Now we need to connect the logger to the Stumpy Spark Shrine. We basically want to say, we're gonna put sparks in here, okay? They're just gonna chop logs forever, all the time. It is quite literally infinite. Some of these things will have other ingredients that you can choose, so again, later the automation gets more intense. Okay, so yeah, now what? Now we need to make a path. So we take a path from here, and we're gonna connect it right into this puppy, and you're like, okay, cool, we're done. How come there's nobody on the path? What the heck? What do we do now? Well, we've got to take some of our Stumpy Sparks, and you can see the little arrow there. That's going to be the direction that they start in. Literally doesn't matter where they start because they'll eventually just get there anyways. So you can see if I start him there, he doesn't have enough space to grab this thing. If I start one here, he's going to go around, grab the log, continue on that right path, and deliver them, okay? So I'm gonna send a bunch out there. So we basically want this full so that this is always producing and this is always taking, okay? Let's throw this in. We still have our sparks in there. We have 2 sparks in there. We have 4 on the path. I'm gonna actually empty this and I'm gonna keep adding here. And you can see we need to transport 20 logs and we need to craft 10 Stumpy Sparks. And we can do this basically all with automation, right? So there's nothing I really need to do here. While they're doing this, I could go off and clear some of those other things. But what I'm gonna do is grab some more sparks beforehand, just to kind of speed things up a little bit for me. Okay, so let's activate those sparks. And these guys, they're just gonna be prepping until that thing is full. And we'll go up here and try to clear some more of this. We don't need a ton of stone, so we'll just look for little things. These guys have a lot of ether inside of them. You can see that. That guy's going for the double kill. Love it. I love the enthusiasm. Okay, and here we'll take out some of these. I'll gather some. You can keep an eye on the objective list on the right there. It's going to show us how many sparks are done. Okay. Let's send you guys to deal with that. See, I can't even fight them. Only they can fight them. We can only do like the very, very basics. All right, read more on the logistics in the gameplay section. Yeah, so you've got all your items here, all your constructions, enemies and objects, gameplay stuff, logistics, traffic. You can see like they'll bump into each other and stuff. You get it. You've played these type of games before, I'm sure. And if you haven't, well, honestly, you're doing yourself a disservice. They are so relaxing and so addicting. My thing with these games is like, I'm like, I'll just do like, let me just finish one more of these things. I'm just gonna build one more of those. Okay, let me just get this next quest done, and it just never ends in the best way. I love it. We got back here basically just in time, and you can see like, we could afford to throw more in here, right? I want this train basically full at all times. But I also want to have enough to do some of the manual work because it's early and we need that. So I'm going to let this do its thing. We did all of that. Let's go turn in this quest. And then we're out of here. We'll see what they want us to do next. Okay. Here you go. Enjoy. We explain the production line, and now she's like, okay, yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna try this myself. So she does this little setup, and just keep an eye on how they move. They always stick to the right side. So even if it's a giant maze, they will always cover the entire path, okay? You can see here, they're gonna get to this spot, and they're gonna, like, nothing's gonna happen because they've got essentially a delivery here, or a blocker. They're gonna pick it up out of there. Fine, cool. We did our first production line. That's just the basics. Let's see if we can do something cooler now. All right, so he's thinking maybe we can get the sparks to not just harvest the wood, but actually craft it. Need a lot of materials, but no problem. So now we can get a saw bench and we can turn wood into this timber, okay? Let's make something new together. Yeah, let's. Let me go down here and just clear this out. Looking through my research, seems the sparks are entirely unique. We can recreate those spark machines. Yeah, we can. So deliver Stumpy sparks and deliver ether shards, and then we can make a spark workbench. Now, I'm not gonna deliver my Stumpies to him right now because I want these guys to come out and do some work. One thing we could do, like you could sit here and you could just craft all of this wood and give it to him, but that's kind of, in my opinion, defeating the purpose. So we're not gonna do that, okay? As far as I know, you can only map or pin one of the quests. It would be nice if you could build or craft a couple of them, or sorry, pin a couple of them, but it doesn't work like that. So what do I need to do? I'm gonna get this one pinned just to remind myself that I need 100 wooden logs. Let's go out here. Let's get to it. Okay, so this is now going to be near full. Very close. And I'll put these guys in. I've got a little army happening, okay? This is going pretty well. I could probably throw some more in here if I wanted. Just to like really saturate it. There is such a thing as overdoing it. But I think in this tiny little scenario, just getting her done, that's the way. That's the way to do it. Okay, let's throw you in there. I'll grab one more. All right, cool. So I need 100 logs. Well, a couple of ways that we can do this. If we find, let's go exploring here, okay? So as you find different things, you'll notice that they get marked on your map. Some major points get pre-marked for us. So let's do this, but you'll notice giant logging tree. I like that. Let's go ahead and build another harvester right here. Now, you do have to take into account some of the positionings of these bigger trees because you can't remove them yet. So if you're just thinking about where to place stuff, just keep that in mind. Let's throw a couple sparks in there. And now, at least, we've got some logs happening. So let's automate this a little bit. So let's bring this out here. And we'll bring this... I need a bit of a ramp in this scenario, but I'm not gonna have that. So let's clear out these. In order to get this up top, we need a different type of edge, like this, right? We could do it from over here if we wanted. Actually, let's go look at this. We've got another ancient waypoint. So these are immediately unlocked in the demo. It requires a constant supply of fuel. Use the map to teleport to a fueled waypoint. So this is something I'm not necessarily spoiling, but later on you'll find out how to use those, okay? Anyways, what I want to do is I want to say, okay, we've got this wood. How can I utilize it? How can I utilize it? Well, we can build a barrel, but I'm short on wood, so let's grab some more. I'll just grab out of the tree here, and I will build a couple of storage barrels. And you can see the entry points there. I don't have quite enough. Go there, grab these guys. I'll empty this. And then what I can do is say, okay, get on that path. And they're gonna just start storing stuff in these barrels for me. The advantage to this is that I can just come back here every once in a while and be like, oh man, I got a whole bunch of wood in those barrels. I got a whole bunch of wood in them there barrels. You know? So we've got some of that automating. We're just gonna let them do their thing. Let's go back now. On our way, we can get some of these guys to do work. We'll take this stuff. This is nice, an etheric clump. You can probably imagine what that's gonna do. And I wanna go back to here and basically make our army much larger. So this is pretty good. You could probably fit like another 2 in there, but I mean, at this point, what's the big deal? Now you'll notice I'm not automating any ether shards right now, and I don't have a way to do that. I have to drop those off, and I can kind of control like the production that way. So 100 logs. Let's let that keep going. Actually, what I could even do if I want to just speed up that, I could take these logs. And then we can get these guys to clear some more. Now, I can't build another logger because we don't have the ether remnant thing that we require. But we can start clearing a bunch of this stuff. And let me throw a few more on here to speed that up, get these filled a little faster. There is something very satisfying about throwing these guys out to do your dirty work. I don't know what it is. The little noises that they make, like it just reminds me so much of Lemmings, which is a game I frickin' loved when I was a kid. And I don't think they mention anything about Lemmings in their like Steam page or anything like that from what I noticed. But yeah, like it gives me those same vibes, but obviously still quite a bit different. Okay, these guys can go pick some of those up. We'll do this. We'll break down a bunch of these trees. And sooner or later here, we're gonna hit 100 logs. I can say, go pick those up for me, and they'll do it, because they're good little sparks. I haven't run into any bugs with the way that the sparks operate. 20, 40, 60, 80. Yeah, I got 112. All right. And I would personally imagine that, like, once you get to higher levels of automation, it's kind of intense, but everything's just working the way that it's supposed to be working all the time. It's incredible. It's really, really good. Okay, let's take these guys. I'll take one more just to complete my set of 20. And I'll throw more of these shards in there so we can keep making those. And you know what I'm gonna do before I leave? I'll tell you. I'm gonna build another little path. Let's just say to here. This is something you're probably gonna redo a couple of times. But I'm gonna say any like leftover wood, because this will get full, right? If I'm not here to pump it with ether, I want them to store the leftovers in here. So now they're gonna go to the thing, to the logger, they're gonna come out, they're gonna drop it in there. If this is full, which it is right now, because it takes time to build this, and then this will eventually run out of ether shards, just put the extra wood in here for now. And those will get filled, and then we'll have a whole bunch of wood to work with. Now, I just realized that I spent a bunch of wood to make these, so we'll go back and grab from here, which will probably be enough to get us completed. Etheric clumps there. Okay. This little map is different every time you play, too, in case you're wondering. So where you find your resources and stuff, how far things are apart from each other, that's all going to change every time you play. Am I in a different area? Oh, yeah, I am. See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so if I come here... Oh, beautiful. God, they're so fast. They are so fast. Okay, that is incredible. You know what? I'll send some more to work there. Every time we go back there, that's going to be a ton of wood. And eventually, I want to connect that over here. And if I get like hundreds of little sparks running around, then it's going to be incredible. I'll clear this. I'll fill this. And let's start our third slot there. So we got 22 little Spartacus. Sparkuses? I don't know. You get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. Let's deliver the wood. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ba-boom. Done. Okay, let me show you my final design. Here we go. So now we've got a saw bench, and we can make sawn timber now, which is pretty cool. Let's go out there and let's automate some more things. Let's just double check. I don't believe I need one of those upgraders. No, we don't. We're good. So we're gonna turn basic wood into like real wood. Oh, also let me, I think, yeah, I have enough. Let's go turn this in. That's down here. Okay, so you want 10 stumpies. There you go. And you want 5 shards. Let's split this. Go 5. Go here. Boom. Sparks your uncle. No way of building this without the ancient bases. It means you can use it to make other types of sparks. What? I know there's more shrines out there. I bet you a warmed in and there's more sparks too. So now he's saying, okay, we've unlocked the workbench, Stumpy Sparks, and you can go out there and find other things to make other sparks, right? So build spark workbench and craft Stumpy Sparks. Fine. So now those little platforms that I showed you earlier, we have a use for them because these have to be built on those. She wants 40 sparks. This is basically just saying, like, ramp up your production significantly. And that's fair. But I want to put this one. We're going to pin this one, okay? Workbenches and Stumpy Sparks. Now, we're already making Stumpy Sparks. Over at this one, right? This is the Spark Shrine. If we want to make a Spark Workbench, that's this one, to craft sparks out of wood, must be built on an ancient base. You'll notice, like, I can't place any of this here. Why is that? Well, it's those other things that I was showing you. This, if I want to fuel this, could be an option as well. And maybe we'll get that going. It's going to take a while because I'm going to say, store any extra wood. Oh, whoops, let's delete that. All right, so now I'm going to say, store any extra wood in these barrels, but if you finish that, then put it into here. And eventually, once these get, like, super full, then we'll have wood in there. But for now, I'm just going to let that continue filling. I know this has kind of slowed down production a little bit as we open that because they all go and, like, investigate the new path, right? And here they will follow this whole path. So I could throw more on there, but it's all good. It's all good. We're going to let that happen. So here, as an example, if we wanted to, we could build a shrine on this Spark Workbench. So inputs, let's take from over there because that's where our stuff is. And that's all well and good. Now, the thing is, okay, so I could split this off and have them do a few different things. Maybe what I'll do, because this actually holds quite a bit of wood, I'm going to enter build mode here. I'm going to delete this and delete this, okay? So now they're going to go and they're going to start fueling that, but I actually don't want that right now. I'm going to say, guys, come over here. They're going to fill that first, so I have to kind of cancel this section. Run them through here, right? Then they turn around, and I could loop this on later, but I'm not going to worry about that because that's like a later thing that doesn't matter to us right now. Okay. Throw these guys in, and let's throw more back on the path. Okay. So now we've got 2 of these spark production things going, but this one's not automated yet. Make sure you throw in your sparks, right? We'll throw in a whole bunch of ether shards here, and we'll fill the machine just to kind of get it going. And then what we could even do is say, okay, once you're done making these little sparks here, let's create a path, and let's build a little storing thing for them. And what I'm going to do is just toss one of my guys, maybe we'll throw 2, okay? So now any spark that's made is just going to go there, and this will make sure that you go through all of the ether that you dump inside. We'll do the same thing over on this side too, just for consistency. Okay, and then we'll throw a couple there. I'll take those, but you get the idea, okay? So now if I need wood, that's got a ton of it, and it's maxed out. Eventually, I'll be able to come over here and get a ton of these little guys. That's cool. The main thing now is basically getting enough ether to keep making these guys, which is pretty straightforward. Let's go now to look at this, okay? Because we need to deliver 40 sparks and 40 timber. So we need to get into automating that as well. Let's go over here to our other section. And maybe we'll use that area for the timber. Okay, so these are going to get full too, believe it or not. So then I'll say, once you're done filling that, Come up here. We'll just make a nice, clean path. This is not optimal in any way, shape, or form, but it's all good. Okay. So now we're gonna say, look, we need to make a saw bench. I need a little bit more wood. So we got it. And let's build a saw bench. We're gonna bring an input here. Like so. And then we're gonna say, well, go in here, make sure the recipe is what we want. It's the only one we have right now. It's gonna use wood. I'll just throw that in. And we will automate some of this, okay? And same idea, let's make a little path and a little bit of storage. This is really, really temporary, this type of storage, because eventually you're gonna connect all these machines together. I need 20. I need 20 logs. I can get them from here, clearly. That's so nice to set that up early like that. And I think that's fine. We probably only need one. This is obviously overkill here too. But, I mean, it'll work. We'll just throw 2 in here. Go and clear some of this stuff. Right? And so now, essentially, I just need 60 of the, 60 of that timber. Is there a way that I could automate this to make this even faster? Well, I could throw more things on here because I made a really large path. If I had one of those ether orbs, I could build another giant tree. But for now, this is how we're gonna do it. So what we can do while that's automated is we can kind of look for, we could just explore and see what kind of things are out here in this world. And you probably don't want to go too crazy, right? Because as with most of these games, the further you go, the scarier things get. It becomes a little bit problematic. But look, we've already got some new stuff here. Vibrant boulders. What are these? You can see we're in like a different biome, essentially. You're leaving the demo area. Okay, so there you go. You actually can't even enter some of these areas in the demo, and that's okay. I believe the playtime on the demo is about 3 hours. Oh, look, they're going into battle. I feel like they're gonna kill my... Yep. We're not messing with mantis stags right now, as you can see. But if you overwhelm them, perhaps with a large amount of sparks, then you're good. You could probably take them down. I have not run into those before, but I just wanted to kind of get a sense of what else might be out there. Let's go check how many of these are done. I can go grab my sparks replacements. And don't get attached to your sparks, because you're gonna, like, you know, you're gonna get them to go do your dirty work everywhere. Like, you don't want to be doing any of this. I don't want to be out here walking. I just want to have a fully automated factory where I don't have to do anything. I just sit back and collect the checks. You know what I mean? That's the goal. That's the dream. That's the dream. Okay, we need to really ramp this puppy up, don't we? Yeah, we do. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna ramp it up all right. I'm gonna empty this. I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna say boom, 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 boom. Just make sure that thing is pumping. And because I am impatient, I'll actually just build another one. Like this. And I'll build a path that connects this to this. And I will automate that. Let me bring 2 of these guys, or 3 of them, and we'll throw them into here to automate. Okay. Now, it's clear that I won't be able to... It's clear that I won't be able to keep these things filled right now, but over time, once these are full, and I have enough sparks on that dirt path, it will happen. Now I know I'm gonna have a bunch of sparks sitting back here. Let's go to our bucket I got 10 in there. Amazing. We can put more ether shards in there. Let's go to this one. Oh yeah, now we're in business, baby. I got 30, okay? So now, now I'm curious actually. Let's maybe go throw some at those enemies that we saw. Because we're still waiting for all this sown timber. Maybe I'll throw a batch of these onto the path. I love that the map like dynamically updates with your paths as well. Okay, so what is it wanting to show us here? Probably enemies? Nope, not sure. Okay. How much do we have here? So we are up to almost 40. Okay, deadly. This will be great timing. Let's take this stuff. Get these guys to just go and harvest. And then we'll see if we can take down one of those big creatures. I'm curious if they'll just kill our guys or not. So this is the kind of situation I was talking about before, where it's like, now you have enough where you can just kind of toss them around and they'll go and grab all the stuff that was downed. That the original couldn't. Okay, so let's head up here. And let's do a little experimento. These we need to kill because we need those shards. Bring it home to Papa. Okay. Let's wait for them all. So I've got 16. Is that enough? Probably not. Oh, I mean, he's getting worked. Oh, but look at him. He just chews through them. Okay, so we need stronger sparks. Fair enough, but whatever. That was basically just an experiment to see what would happen while we are waiting for our timber. It's not a huge setback either. It's just time, right? Because we're gonna go back to our previous, or like our original building location, and we're gonna have a bunch in the buckets waiting for us. But I do like that sense of like, oh, there's another biome there. What can I? How can I deal with them? Or can I? And in that situation, it was pretty clear that no, we cannot. Where are you going, and why aren't these done? I guess I could just manually throw some in here. Okay. I thought we would be done by now. We're not, and that's fine. Let me go back and grab some stumpies, because I do need to give 40 of them, too. So we'll see how many are sitting in here. There's 9. Refill that. And we've got 4 in here. Okay, so I either need to figure out how to break down those ether clumps, which we haven't unlocked yet, or I need to go hunting a little bit more. So we'll do that. We won't get too overzealous. Heyo. Ancient shrine. What's this? Okay, what does this one do? Ether shard. Capable of making ether shard, but it's broken. Deliver an ether shard. Okay, we can do that. Let's throw that in there. Ba-boom. That is very convenient. So now we can refine pellets into shards at this machine. So I can throw in a couple of these, and let's just throw all our pellets in. and they will just produce them and sit there. Grab all of this stuff, grab these. So now, okay, we're like, well, if we have a bunch of these, we could automate a path from there, but I don't have a thing that's gonna be feeding this regularly, so that's gonna be a somewhat dead end. So we're not gonna go into that level just yet. All right, so we can take some of these back. Make sure that we're producing. You can see this is not building, which you would expect. But the other one should have maybe 10 or so. Pretty close. Okay, so just to kind of speed things up a little bit, I'm gonna call a whole bunch back to us. And we have a ton over here as well. All right, so we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 90 of the sawn timber, or sawn timber. And I have how many sparks? I have 38 sparks. Let me get some of these guys going. Okay. So now I've got 45. Which leaves me with 5 once I turn a bunch in. I can actually store these in my inventory as well. That way it's a little cleaner. And those little teleport things that we were talking about that wants you to constantly supply fuel, those help us so you don't have to basically run from the middle of the forest all the way back to your base all the time. These things here. But that's when you get your base one up and running. So we have to do a little bit of cardio early on. Okay. So let's go turn these in. So 1, 2, 3. I'll split this one. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Amazing.
Ooh. Ah.
So now we've unlocked a merchant. And that guy is over here. Little Spark's good at defending themselves. Trade caravan. Go and kill some of those spunnies for me. Okay, we could do that. We could do that. Yep, Definitely. Let's go up here. Spark machine, I'll mark it on the map. Wants us to find another ancient shrine. Has a spark shrine and unlock it. So you always want to like check if these guys have different things for us. Now he wants us to build a log or a sawbench, get the timber. And you can see how this is just like, it's escalating, right? So now I need to deliver 100 of that. So I need to automate it a lot more. Village waypoints, ancient waypoints, etheric items. Just deliver etheric pellets. Yeah, that would be great if I didn't already turn a bunch in. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I think you guys get the gist here. And personally, I am having a super time. This is only a demo right now. The early access is coming sometime this year. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And I would love to play more of this on the channel if you guys dig it. But anyways, go check out the demo for yourself. This is Oddsparks. Hope you enjoyed. Just a little teaser. And there's a lot more in the demo that you can do. So I'll let you discover that for yourself. Thank you guys so much. Bye for now.